Okay, can we start? Yeah, okay. So good afternoon, Charles, Sam, classmates. So without further ado, we would like to start our presentation on Food Buddy for your casual hawker needs. Okay, so this phrase is a bit cryptic at this point in time, but as the presentation go on, probably have a better idea. So before we go into the presentation proper, we just like to introduce the team. So this is KK, Frank, Wei Jie, Zeyong, and Yao Hong. So together we form the Food Buddy team, and let's start it. So the background to our project, we have noticed with globalization as well as economic growth, there's been increase in tourist travel all over the world, Singapore being no exception. So in fact, in 2016 to 2017, we noticed that there was a 6% increase in tourist arrival, from which leads us to 17.4 million tourists coming in 2017, and that's almost like 50,000 tourists per day. With that, we also noticed through our research that most tourists actually stay less than 4 days in Singapore. In fact, it's 3.4 days. And with this short stay in Singapore, we also note that we have a huge variety of local food, fantastic food, right? That we want to recommend to our tourists or first-time visitors. But there's not enough time actually, and they don't even know where to get started, how to go about choosing which food that they would like to eat. So the question that we ask ourselves is really, what is the right food for you as a first-time visitor, as a tourist? I think we all have had experience traveling overseas. Personally, I also went to, like, for example, Bangkok, and I went there for the first time and I didn't know what to eat. I ended up eating like food that I already know, like Western food. I go there and eat like KFC or McDonald's, right? But it totally defeats the purpose, like, because especially in Singapore, where we have so much local, awesome food. And we may ask ourselves, like, wow, isn't this like a very trivial thing? Like, how does food matter to tourists and all? But actually, if you think about it, you know, if tourists do not know where to get started, what food to eat, they may actually eat the wrong food. They may eat something that they're allergic to. They may eat something that they really don't like, and this affects their impression of Singapore. And they may no longer come back here. They may no longer recommend Singapore as a choice destination to their friends. And therefore, this will have negative implications on our economy down the road. So without further ado, we already know the problem. I'm going to let Frank, the next presenter, share a bit more about what's our take on this problem.
Alright, hi everyone, I'm Frank. It's my pleasure to introduce to you guys our solutions. Its name is Food Buddy. So what it does is our personal guide. It's gonna be your personal guide to Singapore hawker food. So we take into account the user inputs such as food dietary requirements, allergies, and one very interesting thing is your personality. We take all of this into account and then pass it to the clips and then calculate, and then we give the recommendations, the Singapore hawker foods for you. And Food Buddy, we support multiple platforms like Apple, Android, or PCs because it's a web-based applications. So let's take a look into more details of the high-level architecture of how the app works. So let's follow from the bottom up orders. So from the clients, they can use, like, you know, PC, phone, tablet, and they're gonna talk with our front end. It is a website, and it's written in HTML and JavaScript. And we have an intermediate layer to, like, pass all the user data to the clips. We use Python clips and Flash API. All of them are in Python language. And the most important part is the clips files, where we put all the, you know, databases, rules, inferences. So actually the clips file, you can just run in the clips program, but we try to integrate into the system. And everything are deploying on AWS cloud, so so that everyone can access easily. The app is great and it's working now. But who is our client? Who gonna use it? I'm gonna let you home to talk more about it. Yeah.
Thank you, Frank. Hi, I'm Yao Hong. I'm going to talk about the target users. Now, for those of us who are Singaporeans or who have been living here for a long time, you may be wondering what's the big deal, right? All of us know Singapore food so well. We eat it every day. We know everything. We have probably tried everything. But like what Jin Xiang mentioned, if you're here for the first time, that is not so obvious, right? So newcomers to Singapore is a big group of our target users. Yeah, and so this group of users can be tourists, it can be expats being posted to Singapore, it can be people here on short work trips. Yeah, so that they don't have to go into a hawker center and see food that they don't even know how to pronounce, and they don't know what that is. What is this kueh chat? Is that a person? Is that a food? Yeah. So, and it can, even Singaporeans, imagine, it can, maybe we know the food that we eat often very well. Okay, but imagine if you have a friend coming here, I need kosher food, or he said, oh, I'm gluten intolerant, you'll be like, you don't even know where is gluten, right? So that may be a problem. So when you need to deal with food that is not so familiar with you, I think this will help, even for people who are already familiar with the food. And of course, for adventurous foodie, if you like, you can also use the app to find out something that is outside of your comfort zone and see what it comes back with. Okay, the database. Right. There are two main sources of our information. We talked to a domain expert, and then we also did a lot of online research to gather our database. Our domain expert, her name is Kani Toma. You may not have heard of her before, but she actually runs a food tour company called Walk and Stroll, and she's, last I checked, she's number 7 on the food tour companies in Singapore. Yeah, and why we choose her, you may be asking, right? There are so many food experts in Singapore, and Kani, she's a foodie, that's obviously, and then she knows how to cook, so that really helps. She knows Singapore food inside out. We have met her, we have talked to her, and we were very impressed at how a foreigner like her knows Singapore food so well, right? So, and that brings to my next point. What sets her apart is that she is a foreigner who loves Singapore food, and she conducts food tours for people who are new to Singapore. So she brings with her this unique perspective of what issues are faced by foreigners when they are here for the first time. And that's why we pick her as our expert and not any other local food expert. And the next is our online research. So we didn't just want to do a very straightforward lookup guide. That is actually quite straightforward, right? We can just put in all the food attributes, and then we shortlist, and then we filter and get the results. So we thought we'd have some fun with this app, and then see if we can predict the food that you may like based on your personality. Now this may not be an exact science, and it can be very hard to verify the accuracy of the results, but we thought we try something different and see what happens. Yeah. So for example, the research mentioned that there's people who are thrill seekers, who love the adrenaline rush, may be more likely to enjoy spicy food. And likewise, people who are impatient and need a quick instant gratification may prefer some kind of savory, salty food. So we took all that into consideration when structuring our inference engine. So next, Zeyong will talk about the key benefits of our system.
This one will explain further in details during the demo itself. Yeah. Okay. So now let me move on to our key benefits. So how exactly is FoodBuddy going to benefit first-time users, newcomers to Singapore, or even yourself? Okay. So first of all, FoodBuddy actually introduces a very seamless and convenient experience whereby it brings you all the way from your laptop, whatever interface you are using, all the way to the tabletop, okay, with the recommendations itself. Okay, so you no longer have to spend time doing hours of research just to find out whether find out about food that you may like. Okay, no more googling about the best food in Singapore to try, things like that. FoodBuddy take care of all those, and you just maximize your time, enjoy, and indulge in the food that's recommended to you. Okay, and also, secondly, you will make no more rash decisions. Why is that so? That's because FoodBuddy actually considers all your dietary restrictions as well as your allergies. So FoodBuddies will always make sure to recommend food that you are able to eat that does not contain any of the ingredients that causes allergies to you. Okay, so you no longer have to worry about what's inside your food. Just tuck in and enjoy the food. Okay, and last but not least, here at FoodBuddy, we recognize that food hunting can be a very exciting journey of discovery, and FoodBuddy does just that. FoodBuddy actually tries to predict and tries to lead you to discover something that you never knew you liked. Okay, so as good as FoodBuddy sounds, of course there are actually some other food recommenders available in the market. So how does FoodBuddy fare against all these other food competitors, food recommenders outside? I will let KK share with you on that.
Alright, thank you, Zoya. So, well, Singapore is a food haven. Singapore is also a smart nation, food haven. Smart nation, and bam! You have tons of online portals out there that recommend your food. Top 3 are shown here: Hungry Go Where, Open Rice, Yelp. What is not shown here? Chope, Uber Eats, and Panda Food. They handle quite Foodpanda handle quite something differently. They handle the logistic of food itself, recommendation of places, delivering the food to you, logistic portion. Whereas these 3 are more similar to what FB stands for. Recommendation of food, they assumes knowledge underlying these 3 are their core business models. They assume a certain knowledge on the user that you know some of your local food. For example, they assume you know what is laksa, what is a bak kut teh. It should not, it should contain pork. You know variation of, say, chicken bak kut teh. They will ask the user for where's your location now, or what is the location of you going to have your meal. Generic location-based recommendations. Part of that also kind of restricts you because they only shows eateries that is somewhat near to the location input. Third one, it's based on other user reviews. It's not you. Ultimately, one man's meat could be the other's poison. What Charles like may not be what Seth like. So it's not you. So sure. Alright. Fret not, this is how we can solve your problems, your eating problems. Now, this is how FB can come in, a highly personalized food recommendation. We strive to dedicatedly tailor a bespoke hawker experience just for you. We add in, we take off your personality traits, some fun identifiers. Do you like? Later we show. And how are you as a person? Why are we so obsessed in knowing you as a person? Because guess what? You are what you eat. Sounds like great, yeah. But of course, app being an app, there are limitations. And how do we overcome such limitations? We have several initiatives in the pipeline. I'll let our final speaker, Wei Jian.
All right, thank you, KK. So right now, FB sounds like the perfect food recommender for any user that can recommend you anything you like to eat. But however, we do recognize that it is still in the beta version, still a lot of developments to go. So in the pipeline, we are thinking of expansion of the food database. So currently, we have around 50 or so foods inside our database, which is technically very little compared to the amount of variety that we have in Singapore. So if we want to like cater to more people, to each and every one, customize to, let's say, you or anyone else in the world, we can technically add all the food that we have in Singapore into our database. And also, besides enhancing the quantity, we are also thinking of expanding the food quantifiers. So this will allow us to attribute more of your personality traits and eventually give you a highly personalized food recommendation. So we are also thinking to suggest eateries and restaurants. So this is working towards a one-stop application for our app. So basically, besides recommending you Char Kway Teow, maybe I already know where maybe Changi Char Kway Teow is the best. So I'll recommend you to go Changi and have the Char Kway Teow. So this will definitely be an add-on to our future development with the app. So finally, we are thinking of integrating with social platforms such as your Facebook, Instagram, and your Twitter feed. So basically, the idea is to connect people with similar interests together. So imagine that currently there's this pretty girl out there or this handsome guy out there that has the same food interests as you. So you can talk online on Food Buddy, and then maybe you all can hang out to a location where Food Buddy recommends you. And then who knows, you might just find your next Food Buddy. So, like what Frank has mentioned just now, the app is already deployed on the web, so might as well give a go at it. So this is a QR code for you to access the web application. If you cannot use the QR code, you may want to try the URL that's there. So thank you once again for your kind attention.
Okay, so anybody tried it? Okay, if not, then we'll move on to a demo and we'll try it for you. Okay.
Disclaimer is totally safe. So yeah, if you switch to your private phone network, the work does.
We suspect some issue with the tiny URL. Okay, tinyurl.com/foodbuddy.
Surprisingly, Food Buddy is not.
Okay, so hope you are able to access our Food Buddy. Okay, so it's the same interface that you'll see over here. So this interface is designed to be simple to use, straightforward. So because newcomers will not want to spend a lot of time answering a lot of questions just to come to a few recommendations, right? So our design interface is very straightforward. So first, you just enter your name. Okay, for example, John. Actually, in the future, we might want to keep this personalized so that anytime he log into this app itself, hello John, we know what you're looking for, things like that. So that's part of the future development. Yes, correct. Okay, so the first two things that we ask the users are very importantly the dietary restrictions and also whether they have any allergies or not. Okay, like for example, in this case, let's say John is a vegetarian. Okay, and in terms of food allergy, let's say he can't take anything that contains gluten. Okay, and the third question, this one I got to explain a little bit, the logic behind these third questions. Okay, so on the question itself, we asked about